Yeah, and Nicole, I should just mention too that any moment now we are going to have Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene come over here, and so she'll be able to explain in her own words why she made this move. But just to set the scene here, she did file a motion to vacate, which means this would be a vote that would ultimately trigger the removal of the Speaker of the House if half of the House votes for that. And I believe Congresswoman Greene is joining us here now live. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
So you made a lot of news today, obviously. If you could just sort of lay out, explain to the American public why it is you felt like this was the right move to make to file a motion to vacate here.
Well, of course, this isn't what I want to be doing, but it's important for our country. Speaker Johnson brought a funding bill to the floor, which really was the second part of an omnibus. This was a funding bill that would fund abortion clinics with abortions up until the day of birth, funds DEI projects within the government, funds the trans agenda for our children through various earmarks, and forces Republican members of Congress, puts them in a bad place to choose between funding paychecks for our military and funding those things as well. He also brought this funding bill to the floor, breaking our rules, 72-hour rule. We were only given 1 day to read the 1,012-page bill that we had to vote on today. That's $1.2 trillion of spending of the American people's hard-earned tax dollars. This also comes on the heels of a minibus last week and 3 CRs. Waiting all the way up until the government funding deadline. These are the tricks and the gimmicks they've been doing here in the swamp for decades, and people are sick and tired of it. I filed the motion to vacate today, and I'm giving time for my conference. I think everyone needs time to think about who they want to be Speaker of the House and who is capable of leading. The vote count today on this bill, it was a Democrat bill. Chuck Schumer drove the process. Mike Johnson handed the gavel over to him, and the majority of the majority voted against this bill. So it is clear within my conference, everyone has lost complete confidence in Mike Johnson as Speaker of the House, and we need a speaker going forward that can lead our country in this time of chaos where our border is being invaded, crime is out of control, and many Americans have lost hope for the future.
So let me ask you, so you talked about a number of things in the bill that you did not like. Obviously, you know, Republicans have a very slim, I think now 2 or 3 seat majority, that's it. That does require compromise. You need to give some to get some. That's generally how this works. Why is the solution not to find some new negotiators, maybe get back to the table and try to win policy achievements that way? Why is the solution, you think, to remove the Speaker potentially? Because you remember what happened last time, 3 weeks where the House was imperiled and couldn't do anything.
I think that's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. We weren't even given the ability to put amendments on this bill. So our voice was completely taken away, our right to work for our districts, our own districts, and what they would like to see in the bill. So there wasn't a process of compromise. As a matter of fact, we were completely silenced. We were only given the ability to vote yes or no for this bill, and that happened today. I filed the motion to vacate, but I haven't put a time limit on it. I'm being very respectful to my conference. I want us to have time to go through this, not to set the House on fire and force everyone into a rush process. I have the ability to call this motion to vacate to the floor in a matter of weeks or maybe even a matter of months. What I want to see for the House of Representatives is committees to be able to continue their important work, continue their investigations, and do our jobs for the American people. But at the same time, it's time for us to find a Republican Speaker of the House that doesn't get rolled in meetings, doesn't hand over the speakership to Chuck Schumer, and doesn't pass funding bills that the White House can't wait to sign.
So who is that person in your conference who not only can negotiate, as you say, but also can get half the House to vote for them to become Speaker?
Well, again, I respect my conference. I respect my conference so much. I've paid all of my dues to the NRCC and then some. I also respect my conference's ability to pick that person. And in our conference, we have many very intelligent and talented people, and I would like that to be a conversation in our conference, not me driving the ship on it.
So it sounds like you're at least leaving the door open for the possibility that maybe Mike Johnson can do something between now and whenever you want to do this, announce on the floor, where you may pull this back? Am I hearing you correctly? Or is this a for sure thing you're going to do? It's just a matter of when?
It's a matter of when, and from conversations that I've had with my colleagues, many other members have lost confidence in him as well.
Have they gone public? Are they going to, because we've heard frustrations, but no one has come forward as you have and said it's time for him to go. So are other members going to come forward publicly and say, yes, I agree with Councilman Greene?
I'm going to leave that up to you to go ask those questions. I just filed the motion to vacate, I think maybe not even an hour ago. It's flyout day, so unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to meet as a conference again. But I did have those discussions on the House floor. There's members that probably will say something publicly, and there's members that are just basically sighing a sigh of relief, but maybe uncomfortable with the process again.
And just one last question, I think, then we got to wrap it up. But it seems like you're not fazed at all by criticism from not just Democrats, but from also fellow Republicans that say it appears like this Congress, Republicans specifically, cannot govern. It's only chaos. You've only got the infighting. What would your response be to that?
I just think the criticism is warranted. I wasn't for throwing out Kevin McCarthy. I wasn't for throwing out George Santos, and I wasn't for funding bills that took away our right for amendments, broke the 72-hour rule. We have a serious crisis right now in our country. The video everyone's watching is the one where illegal aliens ran across the border, running over Texas National Guard and Border Patrol agents, all military-aged men. Many Americans are terrified of that. We need a Republican speaker that's not willing to throw away his ability to negotiate for border security, and the negotiation does not include legalizing 5,000 migrants coming across the border legally every day, like the Senate proposal. That was a non-starter. We need a Republican speaker that takes very serious the concerns and fears that Americans have, not only with border security, but also with the rampant inflation and the fact that so many young people today will never be, or they think they'll never be able to buy a home. We don't have control with this speaker right now. He did the bidding of the Democrats, and he let Chuck Schumer drive the process with this bill we voted on today.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you for your time. I appreciate you explaining it to us. Thank you, thank you. All right, Nicole, so you heard from the Congresswoman's mouth there, her motivations. Obviously, not everyone on her side agrees with those sentiments, but there's the frustration there and the driver behind this pretty drastic move. We'll see how this works out.
Yeah, we'll certainly see what happens next. All right, Joe Khalil, thank you. Up next, an LA socialite behind